Bruce, let's do another question here. This one comes to us from Stinky Pinky. I have a serious question for Bruce. Bruce, was it all worth it? The missed holidays, the little family moments you can never get back that you missed. Was it worth it? If given the ultimatum, would you have walked away from pro wrestling? One of our first questions was about the travel. Man, Stinky Pinky just bringing the heat here. When you think about all the things you had to sacrifice personally through the years for wrestling, was it worth it?
Yes. Every second of it was. You have to understand, from the time I was 4 years old, I wanted to do one thing, and that was to be in this business. From the time I was 4 years old to current day, everything that I did was about this business. So, I love my family without a doubt, and I did miss some important days. My wedding anniversary is April 3rd. You know why? Because we were on the West Coast in LA for WrestleMania 12, and that was a short little jaunt to Las Vegas, so we could say I do, she do, we do, and then head on over to Hong Kong for our honeymoon. That was around the business. It's also easy to remember my anniversary because I go back and look at WrestleMania 12. Oh, God, I've been married 27 years. What the hell? So so to that point is that I've missed a lot of wedding anniversaries because it was around, and I knew it when I did it. Like, hey, this is gonna be hard to celebrate all these anniversaries on this day because WrestleMania is gonna move around and stuff. The was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it because I love what I do. I don't have a job, and I still get to spend quality time with my family, and it's different. Do I wish I could have been to some of the things that I miss, some birthdays and things like that? Sure, of course I do. But you can't live in regret. And I was fortunate for being fired through 10 years of high school and middle school football, wrestling, soccer, and all of that I was there. So I did get to experience a lot of that. And I had a schedule that allowed me to do that. And I also kind of put my foot down to where it was like, I'm making these. I'm going. The kids have a soccer game. This I'm going. Or Amber's got wrestling. Amber's in state. I'm going. Kane's got a football game. I'm going. So I reached the point where I was able to do that. And so yeah, no, I don't. I don't. Yes, I miss some things, but I also this is my life. This is my love as well, and my family understands that.
Retro Sports Vision wants to know, Bruce, do you have any Ronnie P. Gosset stories? Is it true he was the original choice to manage Jeff Jarrett in his run in '93?
Completely false. That was Jerry Jarrett's again. Boy, Jerry Jarrett can put some shit out there. Jerry Jarrett wanted Jeff to have an entourage. Wherever Jeff goes, he should have an entourage. And the first vignettes that we did use Ronnie Gosset. We used Ronnie, Frank Morrell. I think we used Miss Jackie. But that was those were introduction vignettes, so we used them for some things. And yes, Jerry Jarrett very badly wanted to have an entourage around Jeff, but that was never in consideration. And you put an entourage around him, I don't think that he would have gotten over the way that he did initially. So, no, that would be completely incorrect. And that was really the only time that I ever spent with Ronnie Gosset. Ronnie was a bit of a character, but yeah, I didn't spend a whole lot of time around Ronnie Gosset.
Jake A3398 says, do you know exactly how much or what part was amputated from Carrie Von Erich's foot/leg And how in the world did he manage to move that well in the ring after that? Bruce, we got this question because a lot of people weren't really sure what that looked like, but there was a visual representation of that in the movie The Iron Claw. And so that created a lot of other further conversation about, was that accurate? I don't know how many people can even honestly answer that. Do you have any insider information there?
So it was my understanding. Let's see if I can- that it was right at about here. So this, I think that he still had his heel, and so he had special boots made so that pretty much his foot could go in. Then he had a prosthetic foot, into the shoe and everything that he would attach everything to. Incredible how he could walk around and do the things that he did in the ring. It was absolutely incredible. I never saw it. So to say to you that, no, this is exactly it. I do know it was not as high as they portrayed in the movie. It was into his heel. I want to say like his foot was cut off. So if you were to, but I never saw it, and I know that he had a prosthetic. I saw the prosthetic, saw the shoe. Never saw him put it on. I guess not true. I did see him put on his shoes and on his boots, but it was covered up, like with a sock. So, but it was not like it was in the movie.
Dale Thomas says, I've always been curious about the original plans for Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez match at SummerSlam 93. A new match type was being hyped on television leading up to the pay-per-view, but it ended up just being a no disqualification, no count-out match. Was there originally a different concept in mind, like perhaps a buried alive match that had to be changed due to some logistical issue? Would love to hear your insights on this. Boy, that's an excellent question, one that I'm not familiar with at all. So I'm fascinated by this. Do you remember, was there another type of gimmick match that was originally discussed that you guys had to can?
No, we were just hoping for a good match, which didn't happen. No, it was, it was their first encounter. So, that's your freebie. You get the first one, then you can get to a gimmick match, hopefully. But first one was so bad that I didn't want to be killed. You have a giant Gonzalez, damn near 8 feet tall, and an Undertaker. You can get one out of that, come on. And beyond that, no, there were no other stipulations put on that match. The reason it was no disqualification so they could just do more stuff and disguise the inabilities of Jorge.